Court is calling 2023 CR 10501, State of Texas versus Gary Bernard Farmer. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Anna Ochoa Nelson.
Defense?
Renee Munoz on behalf of Mr. Farmer.
Are you Mr. Farmer? You're going to need to speak up.
Yes, sir.
Court reporter needs to hear, all right? You understand?
Yes.
All right. Can you speak louder than that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Farmer, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's pretend like you are outside with your friends. I know you're not whispering. So don't whisper in front of me because the court reporter cannot hear. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And when I say she cannot hear, she can't hear whispering. It makes her job too difficult. So you need to speak at the level that I'm speaking at. You understand? All right, he's still whispering. Diana, can you hear?
Maybe if you move the microphone up a little, I think he's a very soft-spoken individual.
I hear
Yes,
bass in his
yes, Your Honor,
voice.
sorry.
All right, that's not treble, that's bass. Although there was a rap song where they said, bang the bass and turn up the treble. I want you to bang the treble and turn up the bass, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Bill of Indictment. Did you review that Bill of Indictment with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, if we may.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are not, Your Honor. We're proceeding on the lesser offense of assault bodily injury Kaale number, Class A.
Any objection?
No objection from the defense.
Going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury family? That's a Class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are you only applying for community supervision?
That's correct, Judge.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
that's correct, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Farmer, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury family. Punishment is to be assessed at 365 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $1,500 fine to be probated. State recommends community supervision. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Marcel, Marcel, Washington, the BIP. You're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition.
Yes, Your Honor.
Violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
That's correct, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
State offer states exhibit 1 with attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. And state, have you been in contact with the complainant about this offer?
We have, Your Honor.
All right. All right, you may continue to confer. Going to show you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If we may, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. My client's originally from Indiana. He moved here in about 2020. The last time he was receiving meds in Indiana was 2019. Unfortunately, Texas's resources for mental health aren't there compared to other states. He hasn't been set up with mental health services and meds. But in conferring with the state, I know that they're wanting him to be evaluated. He has been in custody for the last 125 days, Judge. As you can see, he's calm, docile, and he's willing and able to follow the probation. I did go over with him the BIP course and all the requirements of that, as well as the requirements of probation. He stated he would make all appointments. He knows that he can't live with his brother right now, Marcel. There's a no contact order. So he's able and willing to live with his aunt, Andrea Washington, lives here in San Antonio, to abide by the conditions of the court. We're asking, Judge, if you can do the mental health eval and TAP out of custody. He's been in custody for 125 days now. People with mental illnesses in custody is generally not the most conducive environment for them to get a handle on their mental health, Judge. So he said he's willing and able to make all those appointments in order to get better mentally stable. So we're asking for those things, Judge, and for the court to respectfully follow the plea bargain agreement. It was a fight between brothers. It got a little heated. Things occurred that shouldn't have occurred, but he's remorseful for that, and he just wants the chance of this probation, Judge.
All right. So you moved from Indiana?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have family in Indiana?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what brought you to San Antonio? Are you employed or receiving SSI?
No, Your Honor.
No to which one? No, you're not employed, and no, you're not receiving SSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, when's the last time you were employed?
Last year, Your Honor.
All right. How do you support yourself?
I work.
Doing what?
Work like warehouses.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
I completed high school.
So have you seen any doctors for your mental health?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. And what's your diagnosis, if you know?
Schizophrenia.
Okay. And is this the first time you had an altercation with your brother?
No, Your Honor.
All right. What other altercations have you had with him?
It's like the same thing. We just turning evil sometimes.
I'm sorry, what?
We turning evil sometimes.
Okay.
So, Judge, just a little background for the court. Oh,
So
sorry.
just one second. But I read in the report that he's not verbal.
Yeah, he's like, he has a mental illness, I guess. Yeah, and he's like normal, sit around and stuff, but sometimes he just black out, start hurting himself and like people around.
Okay, so during this altercation, what happened?
Like he was doing that, like hurting himself and people around him. So I be trying to stop him, but like it goes to a point where I like put my hands on him, or somebody in the house have to put their hands on him to make him sit down or something.
And how old is he?
He's 22. He's not on medicine. I think he's supposed to be on medicine.
All right. And defense is saying that you have a place to stay with your aunt. Has anybody talked to the aunt? Does she want him stay? Have you talked to your aunt to ask her if you can stay there?
No.
Defense, have you talked to the aunt?
No, Your Honor. I spoke with him today. He said that that would be an option because he's a family member living here. In terms of the brother, he does have, according to the mother, there's been nothing tendered in evidence about a disease called Lesch syndrome.
Well, if you're going to say that syndrome, you need to spell it.
I did have it, the paperwork on that, but you know, just to briefly just describe it, it's something that has to deal with like self-mutilation, where he kind of falls, he scrapes himself, he hits himself against the head, like the wall. And I think in this situation, I think the brother was doing those kind of things, and he was trying to get a handle on him, the brother, but it just kind of escalated from there, but he's aware of the no contact.
Diana, that's LESCH hyphen NYHAN syndrome.
Yes, yeah, thank you for that, Judge. I don't know how to pronounce it either.
No problem. It's just when people are saying medical terms, then the court reporter will have to do research to find out how to spell it. So I always encourage people, when you're using medical terms,
Yes.
slow down and spell it.
Yes, yes. But yes, Judge, that's the situation. The brother unfortunately is afflicted with that, but I think that he, you know, the brother does need treatment and help of his own, and it's kind of like he does things to, you know, himself and other people that kind of can agitate, but you know, not to say that it was correct with how things progress, but that, you know, that's more or less why.
All right. Do you have any children?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So what I can tell you, counsel, here's my concern with releasing him. He doesn't have a place to go.
Well,
We're saying the aunt. I know there is a community court now,
yes,
and I think that's with Judge Bheard next door.
yes.
So I'm going to have him in custody. If you bring back to the court, you know, word from his aunt that she can stay there, then I'll release him. Otherwise, the evaluation for the mental health evaluation to place him on the mid caseload, that will be done, and the TAP evaluation will be done in custody. However, if you are able to bring to the court, you know, that he has stable housing,
Yes.
that he has a doctor set up, then I will release him. But I can't just release him. I don't have anything showing that he's going to have his medications. Are you on medications?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So if he's schizophrenic, usually they're on medications. I don't want to interfere with any doctors that you may have. He needs to be set up with doctors, because otherwise what we're going to have is somebody who doesn't have a place to stay. People always say family will take them in, but sometimes you knock on family door and they're like, I don't want this problem. So if you give me that, I'll reconsider. But for now, he's going to be in custody until these issues are arranged. So, sir, if your attorney, he's an officer of the court, if he calls your aunt, talks to your aunt, and your aunt says you can stay with her, then I will allow you to be released. But for now, that's not going to happen. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Ron, thank you for communicating that, Judge. I appreciate it.
All right. So I'm finding you guilty, going to sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There's to be no contact with Marcel Washington. State, I'm not really sure if this is a BIPP course issue that's needed here, but I know there's some anger management. Are you okay if I don't give him BIPP, but give him anger management instead? Defense, are you okay with me giving him anger management instead of BIPP?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. There'll be anger management. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. I'm going to want a MIC evaluation, a TAP evaluation, and both of those evaluations will take place in custody. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want monthly field visits. And probation, that will just be until he's set up with a case manager or he's set up with a mental health doctor. There's to be proof of employment or SSI within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. In regards to the TAP evaluation, follow all TAP and mental health recommendations. If TAP suggests inpatient treatment, we're going to start first with outpatient treatment. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Your Honor, I didn't hear anything about allergy.
Yes, thank you. Regular UAs.
And she wanted
No. All right, so counsel, if you'll make sure you contact with community court, if you contact with them, even though he may not be eligible for their program, they may have contacts to get him housing and that type of a thing.
Okay. Yes, Judge, I know that sometimes it's hard for the specialty courts if it's not refiled as a misdemeanor to accept them because it's hard for them to track. But I can ask for the resources surely.
Yes.
I'm gonna reach out to his aunts and then I'll update the court if I'm able to make contact.
And I'll-
Oh, sorry. Yes, reach out to the aunts and make contact with her, and if he can stay there, I'll update the court as to that.
All right, and counsel, if for some reason they will take them as, if this is refiled as a misdemeanor, you may want to talk to the state and see if they would object to a motion for new trial.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Farmer, is there anything you need from the court to be successful? Anything else you need? You'll come around.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Oh, there you go.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Oh, and I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Farmer, if there's anything that you need, please let probation know. If you feel as though probation is not addressing that issue, you can always come back to this court, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yes.
Do you have a number for your?
The dog anymore.